Happy Thursday. Sorry for my delay. I went out for a short walk this morning because we've had rain this week, so it was only in the 80s. It was nice, but put me a little bit behind. Oh well, that's the way it goes, right? It's week 28, I think. I sometimes have to check my weeks, you know, but I'm pretty sure it's week 28 still, right? Today we're gonna make a bracelet, so looking forward to that. It'll be a fairly quick project. Had fun pulling the beads for that. Let's see what's going on this week. This weekend is the Great Bead Extravaganza, so if you're one of those people like me that likes to watch that, it does make it a little complicated for me to do my show on Sunday without overlapping with other people that I want to be watching, right? So I think we will do our show Monday at noon, and I will double check that, make sure I don't have any appointments, but that's my current plan. We'll do our drawing show on Monday at noon, and then we are going to do our reveal on Wednesday, because I am going out of town to visit with some friends that I haven't seen in a while. So we will not have a live on Sunday for the drawing for week 30. Yep. Yeah. My weeks are all running together. But I will draw my cards, post my cards, and maybe I'll put up a link to one of our videos that you just might want to review for a fun project or something, right? And then I should be back. I will be back. So our design reveal for that following week will be on time. So it's just the next 3 shows that are a little off. So I will try to make a post to remind everybody of those changes. And you know, thanks again for staying tuned. And the other exciting thing is when I get back, remember, we're going to have our new kits. We're introducing our cactus garden kit, which again, I don't have them with me, but let me go grab them again. All right, so the members of our cactus garden for now are going to be a big saguaro. The colors are going to be slightly different, but it will be a green. And your flowers will be a different color because, you know what, saguaros don't have pink flowers, although they won't be white. If it's pink, that's the fruit that's opened up. It's not a flower, okay? So you're going to have a big saguaro. You're going to have a little barrel cactus. And again, the colors will be slightly different. The cactus itself will be this color until I run out of them, because I have a limited number of these nice green crystals. And your flowers may be a different color. I have... well, they won't be exactly this one, but they may be pink. Typically, the tops of barrel cactus are orange, and then they have yellow fruit on them. And yeah, so you may get orangey flowers on those, okay? And then the third member of our cactus garden is the prickly pear, which I had so much fun with, and it'll be close to these colors. It's going to be the shades of greens and purples, because prickly pears come in purple as well as green, and they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes of the petals. And you will probably have some version of pink for the flowers, okay? There will probably be some extra beads, and we'll discuss how to make these. So those kits are, well, I will have the beads for the kits in early August. So I'll probably put a sign up out there so people can sign up in advance. I still have to figure out the final cost. This one's not going to be cheap. So I have debated, you know, doing 2 pieces in the kit and then having the third one as an option you can add on if it's too pricey. I know it comes out the same, but it means you don't have to spend it all at once, right? So you can buy it at different times, whereas if you buy it, you know, all at the same time, it's going to be a little more expensive, but you'd save on shipping. And anyways, so I don't have a final price, which is why I haven't posted this sign up yet, but I will work on that. But I'm very excited about this. I think it'll be fun. Because there's 3 different designs, that means I have to write directions for 3 different things. Which also goes into the expense of the kit, right? So that's also going to take me a little bit of time. But it also means when we do our make-alongs, we're probably going to do 3 separate sessions. So we'll do one for each. You know, they take varying amounts of time. So I think we're going to do a 3-part series with the make-alongs. So anyways, that's what's coming for August, okay? So excited about that. But since we're started late, let's go ahead and get started on today's project. So, let's see if I can zoom it in just a little more, and I'll try to pay attention to whether I'm on the screen or not. I use these things on the side to kind of make sure that I know the area that I need to stay in. Okay, so just a reminder, what we've got here is we're going to make a bracelet, which is always fun because we all love our bracelets, right? We're going to use teal or turquoise in our designs. So I've got these turquoise check glass beads. Also debating I might use the turquoise beading wire again. I'm still debating on that though. We'll see that as we go along. All right, so that's our teal or turquoise. We're having to use a box clasp. So I pulled out this sparkly box clasp. It happens to be in a gold finish, so very unusual for me, but we are going to work in gold today, okay? And the universe has been wanting us to use a box clasp. So box clasp, generally you have this tab that you squeeze that slides in to this slot, and you slide it in and it clicks, and then that's how that box clasp works. Those are harder and harder to find these days, you know, just it just is there, and you have to find good ones, otherwise they just don't work very well. All right, so we have to also use neon colors in our design. So I pulled out these neon orange beads. We're all about the check glass today, okay? So we're gonna use those. Then we had to design something using my favorite color. Well, the teal turquoise also represents my favorite color, which is why we drew a second challenge card, which was something inspired by a sunrise or sunset. So the sunrise sunset is why I chose orange, and I'm using 3 different colors of these sun beads. Aren't those fun? I bought these from those of you guys that watched for me for a while. Last year, you'll remember I went to Panama City Beach in Florida, and there's a bead shop down there called LH Bead Gallery, I think. They're going out of business, so it really doesn't matter if I don't remember their name, but she's retiring. The owner wants to retire. She'll still do some stuff online, but I got these fun sun beads in multiple colors from her. She's still having really good sales. If you're interested, you can look her up on Facebook, and it's, like I said, LH Bead Gallery. Then I've just got some other gold spacers because there's gold wash on my beads. So anyways, the orange and the fact that these have suns in them is my sunrise sunset inspiration. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna cut my strands so that we have some beads. Okay. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need since I got 3 different colors here, but so if you guys are catching me on the replay or anything, let me know you're out there. Love to hear from you. It's always fun to know who's out there, and I just undid my entire strand of beads. Oh well. That's okay. And if you haven't, please like and follow us follow Desert Cat Creations on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. I am working towards being able to broadcast on YouTube at the same time as Facebook so that I don't have to move videos. Just a reminder, these videos will be on Facebook for 30 days. Then I move them over to, I move them over to YouTube within a day or so of the video. But if you're looking for something and it's over 30 days, it will be on YouTube. I didn't move everything from last year. I also didn't move everything from this year. Kind of lost the month of March, but January and February are there as well, because March is when they changed their policy on maintaining them. Okay, but everything for this year is there except for the month of March. All right, so we've got some bright orange here, and then just some gold spacers because, you know, I don't want to put all these next to each other, but set the clasp aside. But so if we, you know, kind of put these as a pattern, you know, I was debating whether I wanted to like sort of do lumps of that and then, you know, like small beads, but I was thinking I might do this like in between each bead to spread them out. You know, checklist isn't depends on the thing. It's can be cheap or not cheap. So I pulled out 2 different colors of soft flex. I'm going to use medium soft flex today. I don't actually have gold, but I do have antique brass, which is kind of has a little gold shimmer to it. And I have a new spool of turquoise because, you know, we used up our small spool the other day, which I actually thought I had another small spool, but I must have used it up at some point. Okay, I don't know why stuff's falling off my table behind me, but Sorry about that. I actually think I'm going to use the turquoise today because, you know, we have to use turquoise in our design, and we are using turquoise. But, so let me set that aside. Now let's lay this out a little. You can have our clasp, and then I always like to put some smaller beads next to the clasp. And then, you know, we can just maybe jump right in and don't think it really matters which order I put these beads in. Although, actually, since I'm doing my sunrise sunset, maybe I have the blue skies, then we have the orangey sun, and the green can represent the ground. So if I put them in that order, it gives me my sunrise if I go one way, and my sunset if I go the other way, right? Sometimes I have to laugh at some of these things. But so if you're into neon, or you happen to draw the neon card, there has actually, you know, at some point they sold a lot of neon in check glass, but it's kind of hard to find. It's kind of hit or miss whether people decided to carry it. And I will say I never, I looked for it at the bead shows, and really didn't find much. I found a whole bunch when I was in Santa Fe visiting one of the bead stores there. All right, let's see how. Maybe I have to start just stringing this up and see how long this is, because you know it's never exactly. I think that's going to be close. All right, so let's string this up and see what it looks like on the cord. So I hope all you guys are staying safe and not having too crazy of weather. We actually it's monsoon season here in Tucson, so we got some rain the last couple days, which we are really needed. But yeah, we got like over 2 inches of rain, so it does cause some roads around here to flood, and you know, our little rivers and streams actually flow for a day or so. That's why I had to go out for the walk today. All the birds were singing, and lots of lizards outside. And this is the time of year when you see all the baby quail all walking along behind their parents. They're super cute. Twice in the last week and a half or so, we've had them come, a little group of them come through our backyard, and I don't think I'm pretty sure they did not have a nest in the yard, but I can't guarantee it, because the ones the other day were super tiny. But they did take them out of the yard, so and they can lay a lot of eggs. I they're fascinating to watch because the parents are, I believe, quail are one of those that mate for life. But they're really good, you know, like when I was taking pictures, Dad was up on the fence watching for any danger while Mom's walking the babies along. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it, there's a lot of things out here that want to get those baby quail, and some of them, you know, they eat the eggs, not just the, so they have to have a lot of them, right? So it's kind of weird, like every once in a while you'll see a couple of quail and they maybe have one baby, which is sad because, you know, they had more than one at some point. But it's the circle of life, right? And I know a lot of people eat quail and quail eggs, so I've eaten it myself. I still think they're cute, though. All right, let's see how much we've got here. It's like right at 6.5, so I may have to put the clasp on and see if I need to add anything or not. Usually the clasp adds about another half an inch or so. All right, so I did pull out gold crimps since we're working with gold today. Which, like I said, is unusual for me. Don't do a whole lot in gold, but like I said, these had a gold wash on them, so, and I was able to find a gold a gold tone box clasp, so that's what we're using. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna put the crimp on there. Sorry, I dropped my clasp, so give me a second. It's dark under my desk, so take me a couple minutes to find it. Where'd you go? There. Fortunately, I have a sparkly clasp, so it'll sparkle for me. All right. Before I lose it again, get that loop on there. Didn't check, but I think all my beads have decent holes in them. Let's see if it'll go through the smaller. It's going to be tight, so we'll see. Since I don't want to leave an extremely long tail on here, but I want to leave a little bit. See if I can get it back through that bead. So. All right, so I'm pulling this tight so I have a small loop in there, attaching my clasp on there. For those of you that are fortunate enough to get some Stars bead clasps, they started switching their angle on their loops so that it lines up your bracelet a little better. I mean, this should be okay. Oh, you know what? I just used my regular crimper. Oh, well, I was going to use my magic crimper. Apparently I pulled out the wrong one. Regular crimper, use the back to make this sort of taco shape, and then you use the front to squeeze it. So you're going to put it in sideways so the taco indentation is facing forward or back, but not facing the jaws of the plier. Then I like to just do an extra squeeze on there. That was unlike me to grab the wrong crimper. Oh well. All right, let's see if we can get this through the neon bead, because if we can, it's going to hold really tight and we don't have to worry about, you know, our crimp failing or anything. So I'm using my pliers. I don't want to squeeze too hard because I don't want to crush the wire, but I'm gently pushing it through the bead. There we go. Once you get enough of it out the other side, then you can just hold on to that and pull your bead back. All right. So I can guarantee you that that is not going to come loose. It's going to be hard to put on the other side, though. Oh yeah, I forgot I had troubles with that. All right, well, we'll just trim it. We are going to trim it. Where's my... There. Now make sure you trim the right side, not the longer one. Goes through the rest of the bracelet. All right, let's... Yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. All right, so we need enough for our crimp and to go back through. I need to give myself enough to grab onto, so. All right, so we will put our crimp on. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the you know, the insert in outside of off the hair. So this particular clasp has, so it has a jump ring on here. Which I think I want to take the jump ring off because it might not work so well with my you know, it can come loose. Actually, is this a solid? Well, let me check. It may be a soldered ring. Actually appears to be a soldered ring, so I either have to cut that off, because now I may have weakened it by trying to open it. I'm going to squeeze it so that it's not bent. Yep, it's a solid. That's a solid ring, so I feel safe using the ring. So I'm just going to stick my cord through there, and then we're going to try to get it back through our neon bead again. Come on. Again, I'm going to use my pliers to gently. Okay, it is not going in. So let me trim the end of that off and see if I can try again. Now, you know, you don't have to force your wire through the bead. It always makes me feel more comfortable, just in case my crimp fails. I'm not one of those people that have had crimps fail, but you know, you always have to make sure. You know, some people are harder on their jewelry than others. I know a lot of people like to wear stuff all the time, you know, no matter what they're doing. I always take my jewelry off. Oh. I think we actually had it going in there. All right. All right, it's not worth it. So I'm going to push my crimp down towards the bracelet, and then I'm going to pull this end tighter. And you want to make sure that, you know, your bracelet has movement, but not a bunch of wire showing. Now, you know, you've got this pretty wire, so it is worth showing it a little bit, but that's kind of what we're doing here at the end. So, and it folds over, so we're good there. I'm actually going to use my magic crimper on this end, even though I didn't use it on the other end. All right, so centering it in the divot there, and I'm going to squeeze, make a ravioli, then I'm going to squeeze again. I think carefully make sure I don't get anything else caught in here, because I don't want to bend my clasp or the ring. Oh, I still feel like I have a ravioli there. That one didn't shape up real well, but you know what, since I messed up the one on the other side, I may put crimp covers on after the show, because I don't have them out. I'll have to see if I have them handy. We could do crimp covers real quick. All right, here we go. So again, to put this on, you can hold it and look, even a box clasp can be helped by using our bracelet helper, because it holds it still, because otherwise it kind of moves around on you. And then I can just slide that into there until it clicks, and you know, just pull to make sure it's clicked in. And here we go, we have our sunrise sunset bracelet that we made. All right, take it off just so I can show it to you guys here. And we'll be posting that picture up. And we got a little sparkle here with our clasp. All right, so yeah. Oh. All right, there we zoomed in a little bit so you can get a good look at that. Aren't those fun beads? I really like them, and it's very colorful. So we made a bracelet. We used a box clasp, so that's right there. Our sparkly box clasp. We used two things that were teal or turquoise, which is these beads and the turquoise beading wire. We used neon colors. We have the orange neon beads. It was something inspired by sunrise or sunset, because these are sun, and plus we have orange because sunsets are often orangey. And it had to use my favorite color, which happens to be turquoise, which we were already using. So I could have put that back, but you know, since I drew it, I left it out there. And that's why we drew 2 challenge cards. So there's our final bracelet. All right, let me flip this over. So, alrighty. Well, thanks again. You know, that was a fun bracelet. Please let me know if you're watching the replay. Love to hear from you. Please like, follow us at Desert Cat Creations and on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We have our YouTube channel, which is also called Desert Cat Creations. So after 30 days, you will find all of our lives over there. Like I said, we're missing March, but because of the policy change happened around that time. And we have a few videos from last year. I didn't transfer over things that were basic stringing projects, but some of the stuff that was more unique, I did transfer over. So you'll find some videos from last year there as well. All right, and just a reminder again, so since it's the Great Bead Extravaganza weekend, I am not going to be on live on Sunday. I will do it Monday at noon, and hope to see you there. And we will do our drawing on Monday, and then on Wednesday this coming week, we will do our design reveal, because I'm going to be traveling on Thursday, and then again the following Sunday. For week 30, I will post the draw and probably just post a video in case you guys want to go back and watch something. We'll see what that is. And then I will be back live on our regular schedule the following Thursday, and which is probably almost August, if not August, in which case, actually I think it's the 31st, which happens to be my anniversary, but since we won't go out till later in the day, I'll probably do my live on the 31st. Anyway, so there we are. Thanks as always for the support, and like I said, I look forward to sharing the new kit with you. Hope you guys get a little excited about it. I'm excited about it. I do think the prickly pear is my favorite, but I do love the large saguaro, and we'll talk about each of those designs as we get there. Like I said, I will try to put a post up at some point. Like I said, I need to figure out my final costs for the kits before I can give you what the price is going to be. But if I split the kits, it should be under $25. If I combine all three, it may be closer to $30. Because you know what? Everything's going up, and these are big crystals. They're and the big bases are not cheap either. So anyways, so there we are. All right, have a great weekend, and I'm sure I will see most of you online at some of the various presentations that go on this weekend. So like I said, if you're not familiar with it, the Great Bead Extravaganza will kicks off Friday with a kind of a preview of everything that's going on, and then Saturday and Sunday there's multiple presentations by some very well-known folks in the beading industry. That some are designers, some are sellers. I think they all sell something, but they all have some great projects and great ideas, and I always learn lots of new things and get lots of new ideas. So hopefully you will too. All right, I will see you on Monday. All right, bye.